Hey, this is Joe Johnson with Sonoran Permascaping. Just wanted to show you my project here. This is the larger planter that I've been working on, and I want to show you some comparisons here because this is something I put a lot of thought into, and so far it's paying off on the little one that I did. Check this out. This is the planter that I put in just a few months ago. As you can see, these plants are doing awesome. We have some squash here, we have some beans, two different types of beans over there, something else my wife planted, I don't know what that one is, and then some flowers in the front, of course, here to help with the pollination and keep some of the different undesirable, the pests, from coming around. Now, part of what I want to show you is this used to be full of granite. I'll show you what this looked like before. It actually looked worse than this one. See all the granite here in this planter? That's what these other two planters look like. And see how full this is? It comes right up to the sidewalk. That's what we had over here. These were full right up to the sidewalk. So what would happen in a rain event was that these would fill up with water. Or they wouldn't even fill up. They would just shed the water straight onto the sidewalk. And this all slants towards the sidewalk, towards the garage. So the water would go right under that door. And you can see how we have all this rot. It was actually there was so much stuff here that the rock and the sediment and stuff was piled up against the T111 a little bit. The T111 is not the most durable stuff anyway, but having that up against it just made matters worse. In fact, you can see down in here, it looks like we have some termite damage from that, because when you have the soil banked up against the building, then what happens? The termites have a way to get in, and they go in and start munching on your house. So this one is in progress right now. I'm going to dig down I want to go 4 feet deep. The deepest spot, not even 2 feet yet, I don't think. At least 18 inches. But I'm going to be trench around. You can see right here I have this pathway. You see the brick up there. Where the brick is where the conduit comes for the electricity to the garage, and it comes right up underneath us here. And underneath that are the water and the sewage as well. So they're all traveling kind of together right in that area. So I'm going to make a path there so things aren't growing right on top of it. And if I ever have to dig it out for whatever reason, I'll know exactly where it is, right? And then it comes across here. And the reason I did that was it's kind of a keyhole design. That way you can get in and you can work along the back part where we'll have plants and vegetables and stuff growing along that back part. Okay? So this would just be covered in wood chips, make a nice path to walk on and get around and tend the garden, the little garden area, the planter area. Right in the middle here, I talked to Seamus O'Leary last week. I visited him and saw what he's doing, and he shared some insights and ideas with me, and he convinced me that the best thing right here is going to be a loquat. I've almost been agonizing over what can I put here that'll really make a statement that people will look at. And he said, yeah, go with a loquat. Tastes great, it's beautiful, it's green all year long. People would really dig what you're doing there. So the idea is to make this lush as well. So we'll have this lush area right here. And remember, this was the same thing. This was the granite. You can see kind of the old granite right along here. Going right into this. I dug all this out, went down about 3 feet, maybe more, about 3 feet. And down underneath it, I just, first thing I did is throw some logs in there. Just some old, I think they're Palo Verde logs. Threw them in there. And they were already falling apart. So it's just a way to hold nutrients and hold moisture in the ground. And I put a bunch of weeds with them and put branches and have some palm fronds I threw in there, all sorts of stuff. And then it's a little bit of soil. We have a lot of sand here, so we put a lot of sand in there. And then I covered that up with cardboard to make sure any seeds in there wouldn't be able to germinate. They'll die before they are able to germinate up through that cardboard. And yet the cardboard will fall apart over time and help with the nutrients. Worms love cardboard. And make that accessible to the roots here eventually. But I don't need it to happen real quick, because on top of that I put some soil, and we put in manure and some more soil. We bought some topsoil. We have some compost in there, and we topped it all with wood chips. The wood chips, as they break down, they add nutrients, but they also help to hold the moisture in the soil without having the effect of the rocks of banking the heat. Instead, wood chips actually offer some insulation from the heat, and you'll get maybe a 5-degree difference because you use wood chips instead of rocks. Now, remember, this was a flood area right here for us. It really was causing problems. We had one big event where it went all the way, about 3/4 of the way across the garage. See here in this picture the water line, and that went up about 3 inches there. Sometimes usually it would just go like 3 feet or so into it, but still, you don't want that. Obviously, that's not good for the walls, not good for the wood inside the walls. And what I did, just in case this ever fills up, I don't think it ever can. You can see I put this drain in here. Can you see that right there? Yeah, you can see that. And that goes down, goes underneath the sidewalk, and it comes out right here. So if that side ever does fill up, it'll go into this one. Now originally, I had started to try to go underneath the driveway to go over to the catchment that I'm going to build over there. That's in another video. But I realized, this is big. And I'm digging deep. I'm going to have all sorts of things going on here to help promote the harvesting of water in this spot. This is never going to overflow. It's never going to have that much water in it. It won't be able to. If we have an event that makes this thing overflow with water, I think I'll have bigger problems than whether or not my garage is filling up with water, because the design of this is working really well. This thing right here, in our biggest event so far, we haven't had standing water. It's wet, and everything obviously is notably wet, and it waters it nicely, but it's not filling up. I don't even think we'll ever need the drain on this one. So I just wanted to show this to you. I want to show it's possible. And just so you know, the squash and the beans here, we haven't done any fertilizing here other than what we originally do. Oh, we throw coffee grounds in there once in a while. You can see I have some coffee grounds right there falling apart from, I save them when I make my espressos and stuff. So we have that, but other than that, I haven't had to add anything this year, and you can see it's healthy. I'm watching for the squash beetles. We had them in our zucchini over in the other part of the yard, but everything is doing really well. Everything looks nice and healthy, and all we're doing is watering right at this point. Knock on wood, right? But hopefully that'll continue, and we'll get some nice veggies out of this side. Thanks for watching. This is Joe Johnson.